Hey everybody, so I actually wanted to tell you all a story of an action that had happened a bit of a while ago, and it was actually whenever me and my friend Matt Johnson and my friend John Frohnmeyer went to disrupt the CEO of Diesel Turkey. And there was a couple other things that happened as well that I want to tell you, and you're going to want to stick around for this one. It gets really interesting. So basically, Diesel Turkey, we had found that they had actually been putting ketamine inside of the water that they were feeding to the turkeys. Whenever literally DXE had gone in to Target, picked up like the dead body of a turkey, and it said pharmaceutical free on it. And we had traced back that they were actually giving the turkeys ketamine. Now the reason that they give turkeys ketamine, which is actually horse tranquilizer, also used for for anxiety medicine, also used as a popular street drug and sold as a party drug. The reason that they put it in there is because it makes people like really docile. It makes them very calm, like overly calm, but also like makes the experience around like very funny. It just depends on the individual and how it reacts and everything like that. But the point that I'm trying to get across here is they were giving these to turkeys and literally lying to people who thought that they were buying dead bodies without any pharmaceuticals in it, and they were eating ketamine. All right. Basically, when we went to this farm, we wanted to confront these people about the fact that they were literally lying to everybody that they were selling to and saying that, hey, it's not right to put on a label that says pharmaceutical free and then literally give the animals ketamine. Like, that's consumer fraud, like straight up. And so whenever we went to the farm, we drove up and it was very nice. It was pristine. It was like perfectly cut grass, the gravel just perfectly lined, perfectly leveled. There's statues, there was a brick. It was all nice. It was all great. We drove in, and when we drove in, we saw 2 USDA parking spots. I guess they wanted to be like, wow, we're so humane and so regulated that the USDA even has parking spots here. And also, they had about a half acre of turkeys on there, on the half acre, and they were fully healthy, big, very noisy, and the grass was just long and luscious and green and perfect. And so we pulled up and we went inside the store and we were kind of looking around, there's a lady at the front counter and knowing the information that I basically had before going into this, like every little part of it was really creepy. But we walked out, and right as we walked out, there were about 2 to 3 guys, and they came up to us and they were like, hey, what are you doing here? And we were like, hey, we're just interested in buying turkey and maybe getting some video or something. And obviously we didn't want to buy turkey. We were there just mainly to get evidence or try to have a conversation with somebody or anything at this point to try to confront the situation about the fact that they were lying. They were like, no, you need to get out of here right now. You need to get out of here right now. You need to go. You need to get in your car and you need to leave. And so we get in the car and we turn around and we leave, and the gate wouldn't open whenever we left, so I kind of pulled off to the side, and I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. You see this big guy just like running like super hard, like this. Y'all need to get out of here right now. We got big machines around here. People get hurt around here. We got big machines where people get hurt. And he just kept repeating that over and over and over. And we were just kind of like, all right, like, what do you mean people get hurt around here? Like, this is a public store. And he was just like, people get hurt around here. There's big machines around here. And we're like, okay, we're just going to leave. And so we pulled out and we went out of the farm. And then we went down the street. And about 1.5 miles down the road, we saw a cop car right behind us. And I was like, hey, Matt and John, there's a cop car right behind us. And they're like, okay, just make sure to follow the laws and everything. And so we pull up to a Walmart, and Matt was like, all right, let's pull into this Walmart and we'll sit here and chill. And I turn my blinker on, and I go into the turn lane, and I turn into Walmart, and his lights go on right as I'm turning into the Walmart. And he pulls me over, does the thing. I'm like, hey, why'd you pull me over? And he was like, so the reason I pulled you over was that you didn't wait for the clicker on your blinker to click 3 times before transitioning into the turn lane. And I was just like, all right. And then, so he's like, were you all at the farm back there, by the way? And we were like, we're not going to answer any questions from police officers. And he was like, all right, well, if you were, they told you that you're not allowed to come back. And I was like, all right. And he was like, can I get your IDs? And then, so we gave him the IDs since we had technically broken the law due to my clicker thing. So he takes it back, and right as he's taking the IDs back to his car, a big SUV pulls up, like right behind, and he gets out of the car, and he's like got a sports coat on, he's got, you know, the oval sunglasses, he's got the slick back hair. He walks right up to Matt Johnson on the side of the car while he's still sitting in the car, and he's just standing like this, just staring at Matt Johnson, just giving him the... And Matt Johnson's like, hey, how's it going? And he's just like, and we were just kind of like, all right. And then, and so the guy came back and he's like, all right, I'm just going to issue a warning for the blinker thing. Here's your IDs. Have a good day. And they both walk away. And we're like, all right. And so we drive away, and the whole plan was just that we were going to show basically the farm, and then we're going to go to like where the real farms are. Now this is about 30-minute drive away. So we drive down and we go to the farm, and whenever we try to go to the gate, we're going down the road towards the gate, and there's a cop car like speeding this way on the road, and we're going this way, and they were like, woo! Then whenever we got to the gate, they were all closed up, and they had a big truck in front of it, and there was a guy there, and we were like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, can we come into the farm? Or can we have a discussion with you? And he was just like, no. And so we were kind of like weirded out a little bit, you know, we're like, dang, well, actually, truthfully, we weren't that weirded out. We kind of know the history of how they like to protect their farms, especially whenever an organization like DXE has literally just exposed the fact that they are committing consumer fraud. But we ended up driving back since we got nothing out of that guy, and as we were going back, the cop again came past us again, like, woo, the other way, and we're like, dang, we're kind of like playing tag here with the cops. And then ended up that there was a truck that was stopped, and we had like gotten out and like talked to him, and there was one farmer, and I don't really remember exactly what he was saying. I just know he was really upset, and he was like telling us that we need to leave, like similar to the farm that we were just at. So didn't really get much out, and we ended up just getting back in the car. Me and Matt were just like, that was weird. And so the big thing is that like we know that even in this small town, they're like trying to confuse the people or anybody that comes like by Turkey, or that this is just a commercial lot so that they can like shoot video there, and all the people who show up are like, wow, this is amazing place for turkey to be raised, like this is the most humane thing that you could ever wonder. But remember, there's only 40 turkeys there, and we went down the street and these sheds literally had hundreds of thousands of turkeys like in the whole farm. And it's like, obviously they're not providing for everybody with these 40 turkeys. Like, there's those farms down there, and they're crammed tight, and they're living in their rotten filth, and it's dirt and dust and chemicals and ketamine and all these horrible things that the turkeys are just living horrible lives. Like, we would not subject that to anybody at all, even if they did. The people who do the worst things in our society don't even get that bad of treatment. Unless you look up the Attica prison, that was pretty bad. Look up the Attica prison break in 1970s. But then again, like the people at the Attica prison break were destined to have their head chopped off. So this is just utter speciesism. And what we ended up doing was we actually ended up disrupting the CEO, Matt Cook of Norbest. And the head of the Department of Agriculture was there, the governor of Utah was there, and then the CEO, Matt Cook. And so Matt Johnson actually disrupted him, Here's that video here.
Some time and some aspect of the
CEO
business.
Cook, we want to talk to you right now. As just yesterday in CBS News, we published an expose showing the truth. Now Norbest wants to tell you a lie. We have children here as a public good. As a public good, they need to know the truth. Norbest is
Why don't you just show us all the barns? We'll leave right now. Just show us what all your barns are like.
I apologize for that. We,
calling
as I
everybody
was saying,
cannibalized.
we're grateful to our producers.
CEO Norbest, if you're proud of the conditions,
And
you
we,
come with us, Mr. Cook. We
they
want to
do
work the
do a
farm
good
right
job.
now
And,
as a public
you know,
service.
despite
The
what,
public
some
deserves
people
to
may
know
think,
the truth. Stop lying to
we have very clear animal care policies, and our growers work very hard to adhere to those. So,
Show us all the barns. They're all the same.
Stop lying to consumers.
Basically what we're trying to say is that they like to say, look at our humane farms, we're so nice, we're so great, like all these things. But then behind the scenes is all of them being tortured and murdered. So we all really need to realize, is there really a humane way to kill animals? Like, even if those 40 turkeys that lived the great best life frolicking on that grass with USDA checkups every other day, like, they're still gonna have their heads chopped off. They're still gonna bleed out. They're still gonna gargle on their own blood. They're still gonna be chopped up into pieces. They're gonna have their innards ripped out. Their head is going to be smashed. Like, all these horrible things. And just because they lived a nice life, whenever we eat them, we eat their dead bodies. That's their dead bodies. It's like, you can't, there's no humane way to be like, okay, here's a live turkey, now they're dead. That's literally taking somebody's life without consent, whenever it's completely proven unnecessary on every single level. Millions of people have not been eating them. Millions of people have not been participating. It is simply not participating in the violence towards animals. It's speciesism. It's understanding human supremacy, and it's understanding speciesism. And in our society, we have not, pretty much on almost every level, we have not taken it in. Even a lot of the animal rights laws that currently exist, they really do not do much. They are still speciesist in my view. But yeah, everybody do some research. Norbest Turkey, research them, and tell people this story. Like, share this around and make sure that everybody knows that, one, corporations shouldn't be lying about putting ketamine in turkeys and then selling that to people. And two, even if they weren't putting ketamine in there, it's murder. Peace.